girls gone sports. Hey, girls gone sports. Show me you reppin' your team with Santina and Jeanine. Hey, girls gone sports. Hey, girls gone sports. We steady getting it hype. Hey, I know that you gonna like. You know it's poppin'. If it's a game, you know that we watchin'. We gonna talk football or basketball. All sports, come get involved. Hey, girls gone sports. Woo!
Welcome back to episode 40 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Girls Gone Sports. Oh, wait a minute. It's a 4-0. Hey, Santina.
Hi, Jeanine.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling 40 and beautiful. And was it 30, flirty, and thriving? But 40, flirty, and thriving.
40, shorty.
Right.
Glory.
Amen.
40.
I love it. Santina, happy 40 episodes.
Happy 40th birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. So I can finally rent a car. Thank you so much.
We're there.
Well, welcome back to episode 40 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Or if this is your first time joining us here on Girls Gone Sports, we would like to say thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are liking this video because we just reached 40. You're subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Girls Gone Sports. Because Santina, why would you literally want to?
There's literally no reason.
There is no reason.
Just watch.
Just watch us, please. We're just girls. And also, if you are following us along on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you stream your podcast, thank you so much for joining us here today. Santina.
Jeanine.
Like, I feel like each episode is getting more juicier and juicier as we are coming down to the wire. You would think that it's like, okay, we only have a few teams to talk about, but I feel like it's getting better and better.
I feel like the less teams, the more gossip.
Yes.
Because there's like not that many, so everyone's just, I feel like, beefing with each other.
It's kind of like a friend group. Like, the smaller amount of friends and the more time you spend with each other, the more drama there is. Yeah. Except for us. Literally no drama. But we're going to be talking today about playoffs. We are down to the, final 4 teams that have made it here today.
So, final 4.
Yep.
Add a 0, 40, episode 40. All makes
some love. Some love.
It's all adding up.
And it all has come down to this. Should we just get right into it, Santina?
Okay, let's go. Yeah. So, to start, it's been a cold one.
It's just been like too cold. Almost like Patrick Mahomes is up to no good cold.
It's like they planned it. They paid Mother Nature to make it cold. Right. But like, where's like the 40-degree weather? Why are we like in the teens? Down to the single digits.
Why am I shivering watching football? Well, you know, football, the playoffs do tend to hit this month, but we're just here to brace it. But that kind of makes for good football because teams that aren't used to playing in the snow, which we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, they're kind of slipping up, literally and figuratively.
Literally slipping.
Literally slipping and sliding. So we're coming down to the wire, as we said. Final 4 teams. We got the Bills and the Chiefs for the AFC, a.k.a. why we're wearing Bills and Chiefs merch today. Yes. And we have the Eagles and Commanders for the NFC coming up this weekend. Santina, did you think that these 2 teams would be our final contestants to make it to the Super Bowl?
Well, I for sure thought the Chiefs were going to be there. And I kind of saw, the Ravens, but the Bills, was it this time last year? This is where they didn't make it? Like,
I think the Ravens beat us last year.
So now it's reversed. It was reversed.
I think it was the Texans and Ravens. I don't know. I just know we didn't make it this far last year, but I feel like this is our year. I truly am feeling it in my heart of hearts. This is our year.
Well, I mean, I feel like we all have to give a round of applause to the Bills here,
guys.
Even if you're not a Bills fan. Just a round of applause because they beat the Ravens 27-5. Now, this game, very close.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say I want to say you guys kind of got lucky on the last. But I mean, my team's not even close to being.
Remember, you guys are almost in the hunt.
But those games, like, they're fun to watch. But when it's not your team, because when it's your team, you're like, oh my gosh, like I cannot watch this.
Yes, do or die.
So Jeanine, tell us about the game.
So, as you know, Bills and Ravens final score 27-25. This was just so intense. Like this game, Santina, I was like anxious, nauseous, all of the above.
Right.
Because you got two amazing quarterbacks up for MVP. The Ravens, they came back, after a little bit of kind of a dry spell at the beginning of the season. But they were coming to Buffalo, which made me feel a little bit less anxious. And I was also feeling a little bit better because the Bills had some healed defense that weren't playing when we played the Ravens. I believe it was week 4. I don't remember. But the score was 34-10. So obviously you could tell a lot of our key defense, like I believe it was Johnson and my bae, Matt Milano, and more. They were able to put up so much points because our defense wasn't healed and ready to go. But this week, we were on it. No funny games, Santina. No funny business. We were ready. Yep, they hurt us. And the Bills, because of this game, because we won, we are undefeated at home this season. So we didn't lose any games this season at home. And this game, it had me on my tiptoes. I was just very anxious. And I feel like we kind of gave the Ravens, like, what's that saying? A run for their money.
Literally,
yeah, we kind of did. Their money. Except for the end, Santina, which we were kind of talking about earlier, which we're going to have to talk about now. This game, there was a 50-50 chance for both of these, for the Ravens to win, the Bills to win. So really, it could have gone anyway until the last, minute and a half left. Santina, what did you remember seeing?
So I saw the minute and a half. Now, when I was watching, I'm like this, oh my gosh, like they're going to win it, right? Like the Bills played so hard. They came so far for this, right? So Lamar Jackson threw to Andrews. I forgot his first name. I'm sorry.
He doesn't deserve a first name.
For a 2-point conversion.
Yep.
Threw it now. You guys are facing this way. Let me try to. So Lamar, let me see.
Looking good, kid.
Yeah. Lamar's like here.
Right.
Here. And now he's going to throw to Andrews, who's over here.
You want to be Lamar and I'll be Andrews?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're, okay. So
I'm ready.
I'm Lamar, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're ready. But you cut this way. So now if you're facing where you go to touchdown, the right-hand side, literally that far. Like just put your 2 feet over your you're there. Throws it right. No, like more like right here.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right there. Drops it.
Boom.
Drops a 2-point conversion.
This is how we felt. Well, not for me as a Bills fan, but this is how the Ravens Nation felt.
Literally. And then with that, the Bill they won, but that's with 3 turnovers and 2 failed 2-point conversion. Like, what?
Santina, I just remembered, because if the Ravens would have gotten that 2 points, which I'm sorry, you're right in front of him. It's like playing catch with a 6-year-old, okay? Mm-hmm. It would have been a tied game. It probably wouldn't have gone into overtime, and who knows what happened. So we were very lucky with that 2-point conversion fail. And the Baltimore, they weren't going to give up. They're we're not going to give up, which I love a determination from a team. They tried for an onside kick. Now, for those who don't know, an onside kick is an announced attempt by the trailing team. So the team that is trailing behind in points, they're losing. It only can happen in the fourth quarter, and it's your attempt, one last kind of Hail Mary to get the ball back to score. The punter, instead of kicking it really far across the field, they kick it very lightly, and the ball has to tumble 10 yards before a team can try to get the ball. Whatever team ends up getting the ball, jumps in the ball, has it in their possession, it is their possession of the ball. And there hasn't been more than 3 recoveries for an onside kick since the 2021 season, but at least it's a chance. It's not okay, we're done. At least it gives, the kiddos, the kids, they're older than me, but they're my kids, okay?
Right.
It gives them, like you said, Santina, gives them a chance, okay? So they didn't get it. Ravens didn't get it. And when that happens, if the other team, so the Bills got it, they were able to get a first down with the possession. That's how they were able to drain the clock and win the game. So Ravens, good job. If you had won against us, I would have rooted for you against the Chiefs. But Lamar Jackson, I respect you very much as a quarterback. And he's great.
Yeah. I thought they did extremely well. Now, if I was Andrew, just run straight to the locker room.
Yeah.
Don't turn around. But what I did like was that at the end of the game, you know how like they all meet up at the end, they all say hi, they
do one of these.
Josh Allen, after the the refs with the whistle, game's over, he ran right to Lamar Jackson.
I just think it's like, I feel like Lamar and Josh both knew, Santina, that they're both up for MVP. They're very influential QBs. Mm-hmm. And just to show that, like, friendship through all, like, at the end of the day, yes, it is a game. I know it's your career, but just to show that compassion, like, the, what's that word? Compassionate?
Yeah,
no. I was with companionship.
Companionship?
Friendliness, just to show the compassion and integrity. Yes, sportsmanship with another QB was great, because I remember one time Patrick Mahomes was mad because of remember it was by a toe. Remember their line? Yep. Yeah. And he was very mad at that, and he said to Josh Allen, he's like, this is ridiculous. Like, that's a crazy call. Just say good game and move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like not his fault.
Right. So very refreshing to see that, like you said, Santina, give them a hug, just really acknowledge that moment and the respect for one another for the game.
Well, congratulations, Jeanine. I wish you the best of luck. Now, when we did our predictions last week, correct me if I'm wrong, did we both chose the Bills, right?
I think we both chose the Bills. Thank you so much.
I'm telling you, we are psychic, or like I said, whatever we say, the universe is listening to us.
Like, they just know. I feel like this is our crystal ball.
Literally, remember?
We just send it up to the big guy up there, and he makes it happen.
Literally.
But yeah, Santina, now to talk about your guy. Chiefs, can I say your team or not really?
No. I'm kind of confused myself, because I like Travis Kelce, obvi, but the hair, I'm not liking the long hair.
Is he growing his hair out?
I think so. And then during the national anthem, just stand there. Like, he's always like jumping, kicking his feet. I'm like, just stand still.
Someone get the kiddo, what's it called, fidget toy.
Literally,
give him a 15-minute break.
Purse. But I wouldn't say they're my team more. I like the way he looks.
Right.
So visually, he's my favorite.
Respectful.
But they're not my team. I'm always a Jaguars. I don't think I'll ever change.
That's how I feel about the Bengals. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's how I feel about the Bengals, how, like, Joe Burrow's my man. So it's like, literally. But I'm a Bills fan.
So you have Joe Burrow, Matt Milano,
right.
Josh Allen.
Right.
There's someone else in there.
I feel like they're all just so cute.
They're all combined into one.
Yeah, and Santina, you have Travis Kelce on and off with Trevor Lawrence.
I wouldn't.
Josh Allen as well.
Okay.
He has a crush on you.
Oh, that's right.
I remember you guys went to dinner that one time.
Haley.
Sorry. Well, really quick, before we go into the Chiefs and Texans. So they used to sell, like, pink versions of the jerseys. Like, my mom had one for Palomalu, and I saw a TikTok saying, let's bring them back. If they drop pink jerseys, NFL, if you're listening, I would buy a Joe Burrow pink jersey in like 2 seconds.
I know, how cute would that be?
We need to get mad. But they'd be copying us.
And that's where we have to get a lawyer involved, if anyone knows one.
And all of a sudden our lawsuit is like live on YouTube and people can comment.
That's just a lot for me to think about
right
now.
So, we'll just stick to DIYing. Anyway, speaking of doing it yourself, Chiefs beat the Texans. Santina, not the outcome we wanted, but the outcome that we thought was going to happen.
It's just like how every game goes, right? They played in the Chief Stadium, which, if I was the opposing team, I'd be kind of intimidated, just because they're constantly winning. You don't know how. They're always getting lucky. And then the fans, I think they're up there with the Bills. Like I always say, I love you, but, Bills fans are a little crazy to me, jump to the tables. But it's just, how do they keep winning? And it's really just, I think, comes down to Patrick Mahomes, just these random calls. Like, they want, like, sympathy, But also,
I like
I
that.
don't know how to explain it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
we got to dive.
frustrating.
We got to dive into that because that's been the talk of the talk. The refs cheating, refs unfair, Patrick Mahomes, and all these things. But what I also thought was cool that Bills went undefeated at home, and so did Chiefs. I believe the Chiefs went undefeated at home this year. So got two teams that kind of have that little ego boost. So. As we all know, it's been, if you've seen it on your TikTok, first of all, TikTok's back. If you see it on your TikTok feed, you see it on your Facebook, see it on your Instagram, you see it on Twitter, whatever. The refs this year have been very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Biased?
It's like just very kind of, I don't want to say
Dirty.
skeptical.
Slimy.
Almost concerning. It's kind of like
Me dirty, slimy.
disgusting. It's kind of like giving your favorite child a big piece of cake and then the other ones have to split it. Like just this year, it just feels the refs just have been a little bit unfair. And Mahomes, QBs, we all want penalties, right? It's yardage for us. But just Mahomes this year, I think, is always trying to get these penalties. And there's just been so much drama. And even where there's been football announcers during games have been disagreeing with the refs. And a lot of times football announcers have played in the game themselves. Like Tony Romo, Tom Brady. Like, even if they know the games in and out, they've been in it. So for them to also be like, I'm not sure about that. That shouldn't have been called. Kind of is raising like an issue and awareness. So specifically, Santina, 2 plays that happened at this game. We had 2 defense players who were both trying to get Mahomes down. They collided on top of Mahomes midair. They hit their helmets against each other, barely even touched Mahomes.
Brushed.
Yeah, but why did they get a penalty?
I'm like, a penalty. They're not even like opposing their teammates, right? Or they like, why? I don't understand. Like, someone has to be paying somebody.
Like. It's just, I feel like that's the way, there has to be something.
It's just very, like, I don't know.
I saw a thing that people said ever since, like, casinos and the whole, not that I haven't done a parlay, but ever since, like, casinos and the MGM betting and the DraftKings have been, like, had their hand in the NFL, the whole ref thing, like cheating thing has been, not to make a conspiracy theory. I saw this, but that's just what I've seen.
Conspiracy theory.
We're always down to a clown and just make
Let's
stuff up.
ask the crystal.
Hello. But yeah, I just like this year it's just been so weird. And another one happened with Mahomes where he had the ball, he was running it. Now, I kind of feel like once you get a certain yardage, you, like, as a quarterback, yes, you're protected some way, but then you're acting as a player. Like, so there has to be some kind of give and take. Mahomes had the ball, and he sees, like, defense player coming after him. Then he, like, flops himself out of bounds, slows down, and then obviously a player, a defense player, they have that stamina. They're, like, their mentality.
Full speed.
Right, exactly, Santina. They're, like, trying to take him down. They get a penalty for that. But that's,
well,
like,
I don't
that's
understand that because your literal part in a team is defense. So you are defending your team. You have to take down the other person.
Right.
That's like saying you give the coach the penalty for coaching.
Right.
I'm like, he's hired to be the coach. You're hired to be a defender. And when they played the Jaguars, I don't know if it was last year, 2 years ago, the way I'm like, get his ankle, because he was limping in every single game. I'm like, okay, with the dramatics, enough. I can't.
Shake it off, bud.
It's just, you can't do, that's what you're paid to do.
Right.
Now you're going to throw flags for that?
And why, when I was in gym class, I was told to shake it off, but Patrick could just do what F's.
Well, Patrick's going to end up like Rodgers here. On a little paint stick.
We got to get him. We got to get like every QB and just have a stack of them.
Now, do you think like the other players on the Chiefs, like they kind of get like a little annoyed? They're like, okay. Like, do you think they secretly know like that's...
I feel like they low-key love it. They're like, yeah, free. Like, the fans love it, and I feel like the players love it because it's an easy, like, gain of yards for them. It's just getting frustrating as, a non-fan. But that's crazy. Like, I guess, I understand that we have, like, new rules for protection to keep these players, like, healthy and they can play longer. But the refs, we got to check out what's going on. We'll sit down and have coffee with them.
Well...
Like, we got to do something.
That's an annoying part, right? But
Yep.
now the Texans. I really was hoping you guys were going to win, but
Yep.
you did a lot of things you shouldn't in playoff games. Number 1, 3 missed field goal attempts.
Like, the amount of points you could have got from that is crazy.
That's like me at, my little cousin's game, and I'm like, you guys can't make free throws? Like, I can do that.
Same.
Like, I've played pig long enough. I know how to do the free throws. 3 missed field goal attempts. I'm sorry. Get the backup kicker after the second one.
Yep.
Because you're just throwing away points. At that point, let the Chiefs win.
It's very frustrating because I've experienced that too. Tyler Bass, the kicker for the Bills, where he, like, during, I believe it was the AFC Championship against the Chiefs, he's missed field goals. Like, it's just very frustrating. I'm like, you got one job. I get it. You can miss some here and there, but, like, a playoff game where it's like you have the chance to almost go to the Super Bowl, those kinds of stuff can happen. And also, another controversial take that happened at the game, Santina, Chris Boyd. Now, when I first saw the video, if you haven't seen it, it's a video of a Texans player, Chris Boyd, taking off his helmet and then pushing his special teams coach. So, Santina, I feel like for friends at home, after Chris Boyd had a chance to explain the situation, we should also explain to them what really went down and how he should have handled it.
Which I feel like I would have kind of reacted the same because you're excited. It's playoffs. So Chris Boyd assumed that the Texans had recovered a fumbled ball, after he knocked it out and tackled the Chiefs player. No, that didn't happen. No.
He did knock it out, so good job on him. He has, like he says, he assumed, and then the Chiefs got it. So he took off his helmet, which, Santina, how many yards is that? Automatic?
15 yards.
Automatic 15-yard
I'm like, you
penalty.
can't make it 5. Like, make it
3, 15. That's a lot. 15 yards. So he took it off, which is a big no-no, and then he ran towards a special teams coach, like, being like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Pushed him. And then the coach was like, dude, what are you doing? We just got a penalty. So it was just a whole miscommunication. Basically, at the end of the day, don't take off your helmet and just wait till you get the official call from the ref.
And make those field goals. But the secondhand embarrassment I would feel if I were him.
No, same.
I feel like Andrews, who dropped the 2-point conversion, and I just have to go to the locker room. Nobody can talk to me for the rest of the game. But it's kind of like, what if it's a playoff game? You're like, oh my gosh, I just made like that really amazing play against the Chiefs. No.
Hit the showers, bud.
Moral of the story, don't jump to conclusions.
Right,
okay?
right.
Really pay attention.
Now, speaking of jumping to conclusions.
Speaking of us being psychic.
You being psychic. Give yourself some credit.
I'm telling you, I said the Commanders were going to win. They're the underdogs. And look they did.
Like, Santina, guys, that's for Santina. Like, you deserve that.
Thank you.
I did not expect this. I fully thought, okay, Lions are going to win. Duh. Like, that's all people have been talking about all season. Lions are going to the Super Bowl. They've just been amazing this year. Nope. If you had told me at the start of the season that the Commanders were going to make the NFC Championship and drop 45 points on the number 1 seed Lions, I would have laughed in your face. Literally.
And also, if you would have told me that Jaden Daniels, the rookie QB for the Commanders, gave this franchise their first winning season in 10 years.
10 years?
I mean, someone play the lotto right now because that...
Like, we need to play his number. We need to play, like, the kicker's number. All
that, like, they really took last year and they're like, you know what? No, we're not having this year.
I kind of love that, though. Like, he's turning things around. And also, he's giving the Commanders their first NFC Championship in 33 years. So that's older than us.
Literally almost older than us combined.
Was it 23, 46,
no,
40?
we're at 16.
Right. 3.
1. But also, like, congratulations to them. But these teams in the playoffs with their turnovers,
I love
Lions had 5 turnovers, including one with 25 seconds
That's
left.
5. 5 times you mismanaged the ball. You weren't, like, there wasn't some kind of mojo happening in the team. That's bad.
But, like, if you decide to, choke in the game, this is not the time.
This is not the time to experiment with the Ring of Fire, our iconic play.
What was the other one
from the Christmas episode?
Yeah, we also had another one though. Did we?
Candy Cane Blitz.
No, we named some like a couple episodes prior.
The Worm.
Oh, the worm.
Just call us.
What if everyone just plays dead on the field?
It goes, bleh.
And then maybe like the Texans, what was the Texans person who thought they recovered the ball?
Chris Boyd?
Yeah, maybe that person would think, oh, we recovered the ball. Psych,
Right.
we touched it first.
Right.
But 5 turnovers? Get it together.
Buddy, more than me.
But I am just really, I'm sorry for the Lions, but I'm really excited that the Command, they were the underdogs.
I know. I'm very happy
exciting.
for the Commanders. Great job turning that team around. Lions, you had a phenomenal season. You had so many people rooting for you. So many people who aren't even Lions fans rooting for you. So, my favorite saying as a Bills fan, which I hope doesn't come true this Sunday, there's always next year.
Well,
There's always next year.
also, I feel like these past 2 years, the teams who have made it this far, like backup QBs, rookie QBs, like with Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. We love you,
Isn't
Brock
that
Purdy.
crazy?
Yes.
We still are waiting for Will Greer. We'll get him. We'll literally get him one day.
I think our Will Greer jerseys.
Oh, those are the pink ones.
We really should get Will Greer jerseys and wear them. Those are
You
fun.
know he has no idea who we are, but we
We're those
know
girls.
who he is.
But yeah, final score 45-31. That's just amazing in my opinion. 45 points on the number 1 seed. Great job, Commanders. Now, Santina. Will Greer's her man. Anyway.
Sorry, Eagles and the Rams. Okay.
Wow.
Want to talk about snow?
Yes.
I feel like Buffalo's used to the snow, but that's a lot of snow. Now, the birds, give me your cacaws because literally they're superior.
I had a feeling that the Eagles were going to win this one. Like the Rams, they were okay this season. I think their record was 11-16 maybe. They were okay, but that's still a great. I feel like anything above 10 in my opinion is great. And props.
We do not have 10.
No, we have like 25 points each game. Props to the Rams, though, for pulling up 22 points against the Eagles, a very famously great team. Now, we do want to give a special shout out to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. That's your guy. He's a great asset for the Eagles, Santina. Now, being pulled out of the Giants last year, right? I was excited to see something new for him, especially a team with such wins. The Giants aren't really known for winning recently. Yes, great success. Now, he had 2 touchdowns, including a 62-yard and a 78-yard touchdown, 205 rushing yards, which was the second highest in the season.
Crazy.
And fun fact, his top game with most rushing yards. Scooby, where are you? Was against the Rams again at the beginning of the season with 255 rushing yards. So it looks like Rams defense, he kind of knows like what they're all about. He's able to get such yards. And in comparison to his run with the Giants, last season with the Giants, he had a total of 962 rushing yards with the Giants. This year, with the Eagles, 2,005 rushing yards. He also doubled his touchdowns with the Giants. He had 6 last year. This year, he has 13. So, Santina, seeing those kind of stats, like, what do you think? Like, what goes through your mind? What do you think that means for him?
I mean, what can he get an MVP? Can he get that?
Junior MVP.
I mean, I feel like that has to be such a happy moment coming from a team who's like, okay, you know what? No, going from the Giants to the, they're like, bye.
Peace.
And then you proved them wrong, basically.
Right.
Like, now you're laughing in their face because they lost Daniel Jones. Look at their season compared to yours. It's just what a great accomplishment.
Very happy for Saquon Barkley, and I believe he has a 3-year contract with the Eagles. But the fact he was able to
double everything.
Is that tripling his yardage? 9 times 3, 27. No. So doubled and some-ish his rushing yards and also doubled his touchdown is just amazing. Great job, Saquon Barkley. And also Santina, Jalen Hurts. He had a special moment in this game.
I feel like this team is just trying to break all these records. He had his longest touchdown of his career, 44-yarder.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, we could probably do that.
Right.
Just have to stretch a little bit.
Right, times 2. We could do
I mean, come on, it's really not that hard. But
I like Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
I know,
he's cute.
right?
He's
he
a cutie.
has a kid, right? I think I've seen the kid before.
Does he?
All quarterbacks have kids, right?
Guys, like save some single ones for us, okay?
Will Greer, does he have a kid?
Does he? That's something we gotta do in a quick Google search. Does Will Greer have kids? Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like this team is just really trying to break all their records this year.
And also this is their 5th time hosting the NFC Championship game.
Do you think their family gets discounts at like the concession or
Ooh.
no, because they get a suite, but you do have to be asked to get like a suite.
Don't you? I think you have to pay for it. Just like remember with the whole thing with
MLB
with oh my god, Juan Soto. No, that you have to pay for the suite. You know what I mean? So I even see like sometimes like I always wondered. I thought like all the like wives and girlfriends were up in like the suites, but some of them like the moms are watching from the stands.
Wasn't Josh Allen's fiance like in the stands?
Literally, I'd be like, if you're not paying for me, to
I
be
would
in
ask
warm.
so many questions about Pitch Perfect. I'd be like,
So
the riff off. Can we have one right now?
Cup song.
Flashlight.
Well, so now that we've kind of covered what happened this weekend or last weekend, we got to talk about what's happening this weekend. We got Bills versus Chiefs. We got Eagles versus Commanders. Santina, what are your predictions?
So I think the Bills are going to win. I'm speaking it into the crystal ball so it can go out to the universe. And then I think the Commanders are going to pull through again. I do. And I'm sticking by that. I am a little nervous to see how the world's going to react when the Chiefs lose. I think Patrick Mahomes might have a mental breakdown.
Yep.
Ripping the hair,
ripping
the turf up, and then Travis Kelce trying to fight Andy Reid.
Yep.
Maybe pushing the refs out the way. And then Patrick Mahomes would not let that down until next season. I feel like he would hire lawyer after lawyer, like the FBI to try to review the game.
Well, they want their three-peat. They want to win 3 times in a row. But I feel like the Bills, I feel like this is our year. So I'm going to go for the Bills. I'm just really hoping in my heart of hearts at the Bills. And since you said Commanders, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to see
20s.
Wait, I thought you said Commanders. Just each team has someone supporting them. No.
They wanna have fun.